I find this, hopeful, optimistic, inspirational. A 68-year-old Melbourne man, 68-year-old Melbourne man, is about to climb Mount Everest. Now, I'm not that old and I have trouble climbing stairs half the time, let alone Mount Everest. He is on the line. Neil Fletcher, good morning.
Hi, Neil. How are you?
What is age?
Age is what you want it to be, what you let it to be. I'm fortunate that I have the physiology of somebody in their 40s, and maybe I chose the right parents when I was born the first time, but I've been able to work on that and get myself to a pretty high level of fitness.
So why do you want to climb Mount Everest?
Look, I guess it started about 10 years ago when my sister passed away from motor neuron disease. And I decided then it was time to strengthen my body as I was getting into my late 50s, early 60s.
Well, was that the first time you'd exercised? Properly?
No. I've been surfing all my life. So I've been a fairly
surfing's not
fit
exercise.
sort of person.
That's just a ride, surfing.
Yeah. So if you go for the bigger waves, it's a bit harder than that. But yeah, look, so that's where I started doing strengthening myself. I eventually went for a trek to Everest Base Camp, met many people there that were climbers, sold me on the idea, and then I formulated a 5 to 7 year plan to climb Everest.
When do you go?
Next year, April, May of 2019.
How long will it take to climb Everest?
It takes 2 months, and you do rotations for about 5 or 6 weeks as you're slowly acclimatising yourself. You go up and down the mountains. You might cover the mountain probably 3 or 4 times in the whole 2 months. And you just go for the summit just in the last few days. It's usually an open window of about the 22nd of May, something like that.
How old will you be at the time?
I'll be 68.
Yeah. When's your birthday?
Sorry?
When's your birthday?
In April the 4th.
Well, you're almost 69.
Yeah. So I'll be 68, and the Himalayan database lists all the ages of people that have climbed the major mountains. So I've been able to source it properly. I've caught up with the current Australian oldest person to climb Everest. I had a good chat with her just to establish.
How old's she?
She was 68 at the time, so I'll be 6 weeks older than at the summit. So as I said to her, there cannot be only one, unfortunately. Yeah.
But why? Why are you doing it?
I've climbed a couple of Everests in my life, personal Everests, and I think we all do that. And as I came out of it, I realised I had the strength and conviction of what I believed in. And I thought, well, if I've done those, why not just go and have a look at the real Everest?
Do you want to tell us what they were? I mean, you don't need to.
Look, my sister and I had a pretty tough childhood when we were younger. You know, one of those families who were never kissed, never hugged, anything like that. No one told us they loved us. And that makes it pretty hard. I was a single parent for 14, 15 years to 4 children.
Ooh.
And then after that, one of my sons came down with schizophrenia.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so I was sole carer for him for about 15 years. So,
Gee, you have had a rough trot. What did you do for a living?
I'm a building designer. I've got a business in Edithvale.
Oh, of course, you're still working.
Yeah. With these sort of expensive hobbies, I guess you need to keep working. Yeah, so we've been here for 20 years.
So is there anything here where you want to send a message to people, or is it just entirely personal?
Oh, look, no, it's really fine. Look, I find that what has changed me a lot in my body is becoming a vegan and just dropping the meats, and you actually can reach a higher level of fitness. I can hear the groans.
Yeah.
I can hear the groans, but unfortunately it does work, and it is very true. What I'm looking for, I guess, is... look, I guess a lot of us, and you're about the same age as I am, a lot of us are just letting age creep up on us, and there is no need for that. I find that we can be as strong and as fit at any point in our lives, no matter if you're in your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, or your 80s. It's just our lifestyle that lets the rust get in.
Well, that'd be terrific if the body works, but most people in their late 60s are going to have joints that have packed up or backs that are dodgy or something else.
Yeah.
But anyway, yours worked, and you've obviously put a lot of work into it. But you would hope it's inspirational to people.
Oh, look, I'm hoping it is. I've got a website, if I can mention it.
Yeah, please, yeah.
It's www.recordbreaker.info/. And it tells a little bit about my surfing. It's got a training video of me doing a lot of heavy training.
What do you do for training? What do you do to train to climb Everest?
I train 3 times a week in an altitude chamber in Brighton. I've been doing that for 7 years.
Jeez.
I have a personal trainer, if I can mention his name, Ben Griffin of Bodyology. He's looked after me for 7 years, and he's changed my body shape. It's been just marvellous how he's done it. And then I'll do long runs on a Sunday or go surfing. Runs are usually, say, 20 to 30 Ks.
Oh, is that all? Oh, okay.
That's all.
And do you get a lot of sleep?
I went to bed I got up this morning at 4:30, so I went to bed. I usually go to bed about 8 o'clock, and I'll be up at 4:30 training for an hour to an hour and a half each morning.
And do you drink alcohol?
Christmas.
Only once a year?
Look, no, it's not specifically. If I go out, I'll have a beer, a light beer or something like that, but I guess I've passed the need for alcohol. You get enough high from just being fit and running, I guess.
Well, look, I wish you well. We'll put a link on our website. I know you're looking for sponsors. I would have thought wouldn't have much trouble getting sponsors
I
at
thought
all.
they'd be jumping out of trees, but they're not specifically doing that. And the expedition company who's given me a letter, I've got that on my website, and they've got space for a camera person or a reporter to come all the way to the top with us. And that'll be very exciting for everyone back home.
Well, I wish you well. Once you've climbed Everest, what do the kids say about it? What do your children say about it?
Get your affairs in order before you go.
They're an optimistic lot.
They know me. Unfortunately, they know me. And they wonder why their dad's getting younger and not getting older like everybody else.
Good on you. We'll keep in touch. Neil Fletcher, about 68, about to climb Everest. Get your affairs in order before you go. Good luck to him. Anybody like to sponsor him? Have a look. We'll put a link online. Remember Jade Hayemeister, the young girl who walked to the poles? I remember having her in when she was planning to do it and thinking, oh, Jade, I hope we're not down the track reporting some disaster you've had to cope with. And I guess I feel the same way about Neil Fletcher. There was the young girl, the young boy that sailed around the world solo, young Victorian boy, Jesse Martin, same thing. I remember having him and thinking, oh, Jesse, really? You sure you want to do this? But I guess that's my risk-averse nature. You imagine doing that at 68. But you got to get... So what, Jesse Martin, Jade Hayemeister, and now Neil Fletcher at the other end of the extreme. So you've got the kids doing things, now a 68-year-old.